Hello and Happy New Year. This is the Effective Living Series 2025 here on ChannelOne TV and 97.3 City FM. My name is Apioko Serama Abe and I am your host. Now this year, we're looking at something very interesting when it comes to the Effective Living Series, the reset. How do you reset your life? Personally, in business, for community, generally, how do you go about resetting everything around you for your success? That's what we're doing this year in 2025. Now, the Effective Living Series, if you're encountering it for the very first time, is your go-to guide on how to actually get your New Year's resolutions manifesting. So you don't just write them down or think them or dream them, but you go after them and you make them happen. And this year, we're doing it within the context of reset. This is week 1. And in week 1, we're focusing on the personal reset. Today in particular, we're talking about the new mindset for thriving, existing, making it happen in a tumultuous world. And I have the perfect person to take us through this. We have Michael Hiniefa. He's the co-founder of Leader Freak International. He's an author and he's a development consultant, one of my favorite people in all of the world and in Ghana as well. So Michael is going to take us through a little presentation, and after that, we'll sit down and have a conversation. Very welcome you are.
Hello, my dear friend. Happy New Year. I'm here today to talk about mindset shift. Mindset shift. All the political economies, the global intelligence agencies are predicting that 2025 will be tumultuous. There are wars in the Middle East. We don't know when it's going to end or what shape it will take. Ukraine is still unresolved. Sudan is still on fire. And with it also a lot of political changes in most of the major economies of the world. And so no matter how we look at it, 2025 will not be a normal year. And if you want to excel in this tumultuous world, what must you do? My belief is that you will need to have a new mindset for you to succeed in this 2025. I made an observation that there are Indians, Syrians, Lebanese, and lately Chinese, Filipinos, and others who are doing very well in this our country called Ghana. If you look at the major supermarket chains, if you look at the Spinters Road, the people who are running the retail sector of this country, they are mostly foreigners. And in trying to, understand what is going on, I ask myself, so what is the difference? How come these foreigners come into Ghana, they succeed, they do very well, and we are still there, scratching the surface. We are still saying that we are saying Ghana yedin and Ibahi. What is going on? Now, my dear friend, I find out that it is a matter of perspective. It is a matter of mindset. When these, and I'm not being racist, I'm not being, this is just for purposes of us learning. You realize that when people come into a new country, they come in with a new mindset. They come in with an attitude that they want to succeed no matter how the economy is. And so we have Indians who come to Ghana with nothing, and within 5 years they are millionaires. We were all here when Palace Mall started on the Spinters Road as one single shop. Today, Palace is a giant. Now, what is going on in less than 10 years? We're all here when Malcolm opened in 1989 with one shop in Accra Central. Today, Malcolm has over 60 shops across the country. And yet there are people who started in Makola in one shop who are still there in that one shop. Now, what is going on? Also, let us look at our own siblings, our own uncles and others who travel outside. Immediately they go outside. They are like, hey, it's a different ball game. And they work hard. Some work 3 jobs. And they are able to change their personal economy through that. And yet, when we are in our own country, everybody relaxes. You know, we've been moving offices in the last week of December, and I was amazed at the attitude of the workers who were coming to work for us. A painter will come and he takes one whole day just to paint 4 doors, you know, and I'm wondering what is going on. And so, my dear friend, the point I'm trying to make today is that the global economy, the national economy, is nothing. What matters is how you want to position yourself, the attitude, the mindset that you want to have in 2025. And that is what we are going to talk about. To do that, I have just 3-part presentation and then we are done. Number 1 is recognize. Number 2 is reassess. And then the final one is respond. So we are going to talk about recognize, reassess, and then respond. As I said, you are not going to succeed or change your personal fortunes in 2025 if you do not change your mindset or your attitude. 2025 is not a new year. What will be new is the new you. How you decide to conduct yourself, your personal affairs in 2025. That is what makes it new. I have said it on this platform that every new year, what the chance, the opportunity it presents for you and I is to do new things. If you don't do new things, you'll remain the same. And so recognize that your 2025 won't change until you change. I'm going to repeat that. Your 2025 will not change until you change. All right. So let us now go to reassess. Now, the year is very young. So I want you to take pen and paper, take a small notebook and ask yourself, how did my 2024 go? What did I learn about 2024? What mistakes did I make? What achievements did I make? What helped me to have a better 2024? And now how can I package all these lessons so that my 2025 will be very different? So do that assessment. Now, to do that also, ask yourself, what skills do I have that can earn me money or change my life circumstances in 2025? What skills? Because you see, every money you are going to make in 2025, you make it because you are selling a set of skills. Somebody is buying that set of skills, either for salary, for wage, or for a fee. And so if you don't build skills, how are you going to make the money? If you don't change your skills, if you don't upskill, if you don't add on, how are you going to have a new 2025? And so do that personal self-assessment. Then do a national self-assessment. In your space, in your economic sector, where is the sector heading towards? So whether you are in retail, you are in pharmacy, you are in education, you are in health, whatever it is, you are in banking, you are in microfinance, whatever it is, whichever sector of the economy you find yourself, ask yourself, what are the strategic imperatives that are going to shape how this sector is going to be like in 2025, so that you can change your small business, so that you can change your company to be able to respond to the strategic imperatives that are going to shape your economic sector. So you are doing 2 assessments. One is personal, one is the economy or your personal economy. Then you must effect changes, because as I said, your 2025 will remain the same unless you change something that you have been doing. If you continue to do the same things that you did in 2025 as you did in 2024, you would have the same economy. All right, so make some changes. All right, now respond. Let us look at response. So you've recognized that things are not going to remain the same. You recognize that everything will change as you know it. You recognize that we have a new government that is going to find its feet and will use about 6 months to settle. You recognize that everything is going to change. You have done an assessment, a personal one, and then a sector one. Where are the changes going to come from, and how are you going to respond to these changes? Now let us look at the response. Now I want you to look at the butterfly. Very beautiful creature. But the butterfly does not start life as a butterfly. It starts life as a caterpillar. And then it goes through 4 changes before it becomes a butterfly. And so the butterfly does not remain at the caterpillar stage. It goes to become a chrysalis, then it melts, and then it becomes what? The butterfly. So as the economy is changing at the global level and at the personal level and at the country level, you must change so that you remain relevant. If the butterfly says it will not change from a caterpillar, then it will remain at the caterpillar stage. But the butterfly goes through these painful processes of change so that it can remain that beautiful butterfly that you see it. But to do that means that you need to answer some questions. So let me ask you, in these changes that the economy presents for you, 2 questions. Now, will you remain the same in 2025 as you were in 2024, hoping that life goes back to normal? Number 2, will you use these changes as an opportunity to radically transform your life and business? Because things are going to change. A new government, new positions, the public service will be overhauled, political administrations will be overhauled. Are you going to sit down and do abobo and ababa and think that, oh, things are this and that? Or you will use it as an opportunity to change your life, to change your business, to change your personal economy? These are the 2 questions I want you to reflect on as you prepare for this year. Now, let me ask you 3 more powerful questions. Now, of all the things that are happening, what are you learning? What are you learning? What did I learn from the situation? For instance, maybe you were laid off. For instance, maybe you changed jobs. What did you learn through the process? And then number 2, how can I grow as a person from this experience? Maybe, for instance, your biggest supplier, change and change vendors and started working with a new vendor. What did you learn from the process? And then number 3, what 3 positive things did I learn from this experience? You need to look at them. Now, you need to find solutions to problems. That is one of the mindsets I want you to have as you prepare for your 2025. Because you see, you make money by doing 2 things. You either provide good feelings or you provide solutions. So which one of these are you going to bank on to change your 2025? What solutions can you make better, faster, and cheaper? Because that is all we are doing in the economy. You make something better, faster, or cheaper so that others will come to you. And so everybody is sowing, but if you can find a way to sow faster, everybody is going to come to you. If you can find a way to make it cheaper, everybody is going to come to you. So please find that out. And then let me ask you 3 questions. As I said earlier on, crisis, tumultuous economy, uncertain future. Now, if you want to have a new mindset, to look at this world through a different pair of spectacles, then reflect on these 3 questions. What does this crisis make possible? New government, new administration, new appointments. Ask yourself, what does it make possible for me? Number 2, what good could come out of this? What good could come out of this? Number 3, how do I need to grow to become an even bigger channel in this situation? In what ways must you grow? Because if you don't grow, your life will remain the same. And then number 4, what's the opportunity for growth, for expansion, and for new possibilities in this situation? Once you can take pen and paper and answer these 4 questions, what you are doing is that you are looking at the national economy through a different glasses. And once you begin to shift your mindset, everything will begin to fall in place for you. And that is the new mindset, my friends, I want you to have. I want you to develop as you prepare to usher in, or as you prepare to do life in 2025. And if you can do that, then I know that you would have reinvented yourself. You are not going to remain at caterpillar stage. You'll be able to move to the butterfly stage, which is when you have ultimately achieved your life goals, your life dreams, your life aspirations for 2025. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
This is still the Effective Living series right here on ChannelOne TV and 97.3 City FM. My name is Apioko, and we've been hearing from a whole lot from Michael Hiniefa. He's the co-founder of Lead Afrique International. He's an author and he's a development consultant. And today we're talking about something very important. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you think so or not. It is important, I'm telling you. We're talking about the new mindset that you need to excel in a tumultuous world. And Michael has taken us through a crash course. You know, it's a masterclass, really, on how to get that done. This is week 1 of the Effective Living Series 2025. And this week, we're talking about the personal reset within the bigger context for the year's theme, resetting your life. And that can be personally, in business, in family, you name it. We just need a reset, and we're here to show you how to do it. So I'm going to have a conversation with Michael now about some of the things that he has taken us through. Mike, hello.
Hi.
How are we doing?
You are doing very well.
Happy New Year. It's good to have you here.
Many happy returns.
It's good to have you here.
May this year, 2025, be the best year of your life.
Amen. Amen to that. I receive it. I hope our viewers and listeners are receiving it too. But Mike, so we're talking about a tumultuous world, and in your presentation, you highlighted something that is a bit scary. And perhaps a lot of us have heard of it, but we've not really paid attention to it. The fact that many economists are saying that the year 2025 is going to be a difficult one, economically speaking. And it doesn't matter whether you're a billionaire or you're the person who's earning paycheck to paycheck, there will be tough times. Now, you highlighted a number of things. I'm calling them your 3 R's, if you allow me. So, recognize, reassess, and respond. Let's delve a little more deeply into that. Sometimes people struggle to recognize that they even have a problem.
That's right.
They may be feeling the brunt of the setback, but they are not recognizing that there's a problem. And sometimes when they do know there's a problem, they can't recognize where their fault or their part in the problem is. So how can someone do that? How can we recognize?
So that's why you need to sit down and check where everything is going. Like you are saying, most of us just do life. Every day we wake up, we start with the hustle, and it's the daily grind. You know, we go, we come, and things are changing and shifting around us, but we are not paying attention. For instance, anytime there's a change of government or even a change of minister, the sector that that minister was responsible for will change. There'll be a shift. For instance, let's say there's a new education minister. If you run a school, you need to pay attention to that. What is this new person saying? What are his policy priorities? How is that going to impact the school that I run at Ashalibuchi? That is the recognition that things are shifting and I need to pay attention to the shifts. I was conducting training in November and I told the people, for instance, when COVID came and showed all of us that we've been living a lie.
Showed us shiggy.
Exactly. You know,
shiggy.
Everything was impacted and affected, and most people struggled to respond to it because we're not recognizing the shifts. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are a watches seller, you know, and every day there's a queue, you know, massive queue in front of you, you know, so you are doing very well. For 5 years, you do very well because there's always a queue. But you fail to recognize that there were 2 major office blocks in your area. And so your queue was coming from the office workers in these 2 blocks. Now, all of a sudden, they put a for sale sign on these office blocks. It is now turned into apartments. If you don't recognize, you realize that all of a sudden, you bring the wache and it's 10 p.m. and it's almost 2/3 left unsold, and you wonder and you start blaming witches that who has gone to juju me, because nowadays when I bring the wache over, but you didn't pay attention that the local economy was shifting, and so if you don't recognize, you can't respond. You see, you are there when they started conducting interviews for a new head of department in your unit. That person, when they come in there, he will shift the atmosphere, he will shift the energy. You need to pay attention because they will come in and make some choices. I spoke with one of my good friends. Their company had a new MD. And as soon as that new MD came, he brought in 2 of his own managers from where he used to work. They came to change everything in the business. Now, you need to upskill. You need to drop some attitudes. You need to pick up some new one because he's coming in for a new paradigm, a new mindset. So recognition is to pay attention to what is going on around you so that you begin to reassess your own skills, and then respond effectively to it.
Now, in your presentation, you mentioned it again. You spoke about upskilling. That's UPSKILL, upskill.
Yeah, that's right.
Upgrading your skills as a person.
That's right.
Now, over time, a lot of people have felt, oh, gathering new skills means you have to go and do a new course, a new degree, get a new certificate. Yeah. Let's look at it very practically. Yeah. In the times that we are in, how can one upskill?
There are lots of opportunities for you to do that. First of all, sit down and then ask yourself, where is my company going? Am I ready for where it is going? So ask yourself that. Now, if you run your own business, ask yourself, the sector that I'm in, where is it going? Right. What is the future of, say, healthcare? You understand? What's the future of healthcare? Today, robots, software, machines are doing almost 50% of the work of nurses.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So that is where the upskilling comes in. So once you have done that assessment, you will now be able to know, oh, so I need to now learn how to do this. And then the third question is, where can I learn it?
Right.
So 3 questions. Whatever it is that you are doing, you are now going to compete with software and robots.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or yes. No matter the work you do. Today, look at taxi driving and Uber. Ride-hailing has changed how taxi drivers used to operate. Today, to even work as an Uber driver, you need to be computer literate. Absolutely. You need to know how to use a software. You need to know how to communicate when clients order.
Read maps.
Exactly.
All of that.
So the business of driving has changed. That is where the upscaling comes in. And when we say upscaling or upgrading, a lot of people think, oh, I must go to university or I must go and do a course. For instance, your son, your daughter can teach you how to navigate a software. That's upscaling. You see, you can go on YouTube, several free courses available for you for just 5 minutes and
so
data.
So many.
5 minutes and data.
5 minutes and
you
data.
Are there. You can go to Coursera. You will learn so much. You can go to LinkedIn Learning. There's so much to learn now. In fact, we are spoiled for choice. If you are in school, you can go to Khan Academy. There's so much to learn. My own friend, ecampus.com, you can go there and learn. So there's so many opportunities for people to learn. And of course, let's not forget about the role of mentors.
Absolutely.
A mentor can take you through.
You preempted my next question. Yes, mentorship.
Good.
Yes.
It will take, a mentor can take you through the ropes of the business or of whatever your trade or your craft is. You can learn from people. You can also learn from role models. You can also learn. So there's so much you can do to upgrade, to upskill, and then to enhance the body of skills that you have. Okay,
so Michael, let me ask you, last year, 2024 Effective Living Series, you spoke a lot about self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and all of that. Now, how important is it for people to be emotionally intelligent in these times? And what does that look like, that kind of emotional intelligence in a tumultuous world?
It's going to be the game changer between those who win in 2025 and those who lose. It's going to be the game changer. That is the difference. Because you see, what is going on, you need to do a higher level of self-assessment and strategic awareness to be able to withstand the changes and the shocks that are coming. Without that, you lose out. Without that, for instance, customers' needs are going to change. The way we do business is going to change. I mean, it is no secret that I started my life as an advertising salesman. And I remember those days, the way we used to, hunt for business and to operate. You had to run around with CDs and they put the artwork on the CD and then you take it to graphic or you take it to wherever and then you come back to the office if there was a change. Today people are sending artworks through WhatsApp.
Exactly.
Everything has changed. And so if you are not mentally strong and prepared, you'll be swept by the sharks, you'll be swept by the ocean, and you'll be found wanting. So you need a higher level of emotional intelligence to be able to succeed and survive in this new economy. Being emotionally intelligent in this tumultuous world is the game changer. it is going to separate the men from the boys or the ladies from the girls.
Michael, let's talk briefly about, again, in your presentation, you highlighted the fact that people need to be looking around for opportunities that match their skills, which is why we even spoke about upskilling in the first place. But beyond upskilling, you have skills already, right? Now, how do you identify which of those skills are billable skills? Skills that you can put to use so that people can part with money and pay you for it, and then you can earn a living through that?
I've developed a concept that I say always have a story to tell. Start small. A lot of what we do at Lead Africa, we started for free. A lot of the work we do, the initial concept was for free until we perfected it, and then now we can sell it. And so my advice, especially if you're a young person, is to, if you want to know is billable, test the concept. When I was doing my MBA, our professor used to say, get out of the building.
Get out of the building.
Get out of the building, which means that test your concept on the market. Don't sit in one place and be crying and continue to eat your mother's food 3 years after university. You need to test the concept for free. Now, when you test the concept for free, two things happen. One, you know whether it works. And then two, your customers will give you feedback.
Right.
And so don't be afraid. I think for a lot of young people, they are afraid to work for free. You are talking to them and immediately it's money. No. So if you have a mentor, a role model, somebody in your church, somebody in your area, test your idea on them. For instance, maybe you are a writer. You write things. Go to a school and say, you know what? I'll take a teacher's lesson note and turn it around for you guys for one term. I mean, guess what is going to happen at the end of the term? When you keep on providing value to this school. If there's an opening, if there's something, who are they going to work with?
You.
Exactly. So get out of the building. It's part of the new mindset that we all need to pick up.
Get out of the building.
Get out of the building. Test your product. Have a story to tell. Absolutely, so we should not be afraid to offer services for free to be able to show that this idea works. It is, once again, another game-changing attitude that those who are going to win in 2025 will have from those who lose out.
Michael, thank you. So 3 things for people to remember as you are resetting your mind. You're building your new mindset to evolve, to thrive, to excel in a tumultuous world in 2025 and even beyond. First of all, you recognize. Secondly, you reassess, and then you respond. And if you do these 3 things, the rest becomes fairly easy, I think, Mike. Fairly easy. Another thing to remember, upskill. Learn new skills, apply them. Also, emotional intelligence is the game changer, Mike says, in 2025. That's the difference between a successful person and someone who falls by the wayside in trying to achieve their dreams and aspirations this year. And lastly, get out of the building. If you have an idea, test it for free. Speak to people, get feedback, look for mentors, look at your role models, what they're doing, ask questions, but don't just go looking for money. Test what you think you've got, get the feedback, and if it works, now you can turn it into a business that can feed you. Michael Hene-Afah, thank you so much for taking us through this topic. It's always a joy to have you. Michael Hene-Afah is a co-founder of Lead Africa International. He's an author and he's a development consultant. My name is Apioko Seremashong Abe. This has been the Effective Living series here on ChannelOne TV and City FM. This year we're talking about resetting. And in week 1 that we're in, we're talking about resetting your personal life. So the personal reset. Stay tuned to ChannelOne TV and City FM for more.